Hey guys, welcome back to Game On. So in today's video, I'm going to give my review of the Gamerider Commander gaming chair that's sold exclusively at Gamestop. I'm going to unbox it, I'm going to test it out, and I'm going to give my final thoughts. Is this chair worth 130 bucks? Well, sit back, grab a drink, and let's find out. Alright, so we got it out of the box, and first impressions are very good. The chair is very solid. It's not too heavy, not too light. You can tell that there's quality here. I'm going to go ahead and sit in it, give you some thoughts on that. Max, lay down. Lay down, Max. Lay down. Lay down. So, most importantly, how does the chair feel? Well, in all honesty, it feels really, really good. I'm not just saying that. If this chair was not comfortable, I would not, trust me, it wouldn't be here, number one. Number two, I'd be telling you to take it back and get something else. I do have a lot of game chairs. I've had a lot of game chairs over the years. This is my 20-year-old service merchandise game chair. It has definitely seen better days. The vinyl is cracking. Now, it's still functional, but it does okay. It does not fold. But you know, as you play, you tend to keep scooting forward, and you got to go back. And you know, this thing, because of not being able to fold, it's harder to put somewhere when it's not in use. This one here doubles as a kind of like a pull-out bed. It is not the best for gaming either, although it does a good job for what, you know, it's supposed to do. The back isn't real high, so it's not the best for gaming, and it can adjust. It's got a click-clack forward and back. Now this one does have an adjustable headrest. It's got a 5-position headrest, and then it goes back all the way. It's also got an adjustable backrest, so it goes forward, then back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this thing will, Max, please stop. This thing will accommodate, I would say, most people. And when I say most people, I would say as long as you're not Metal Jesus Big or average wrestler. What the Rock is cooking. This is probably going to fit you. I'm average height, weight, and I've got plenty of room. Retro Mikey 78, he's had surgery recently, but he was able to fit in this. He did have to have a little help getting out. He kind of had to do a little roll and a little help from me. But, you know, most people are going to be able to get in and out of this. I don't have any issues with it. I think that for a kid or anyone who's just, you know, not too big, not too tall, this is going to be perfect. You know, they definitely got a lot of things right with this. There are pockets here as well. I don't see myself using them just in case, you know, the fabric, this would rip and then they'd be hanging there. But yeah, overall, this is really nice. It also has a 360-degree swivel, and I'll put up on the screen all the features that are listed on the box. It's quite a few. And I guess right now I'm just gonna wrap this part up and just give you some pros and cons and my final thoughts. Okay, so now I just wanted to give some pros and cons of the chair and my final thoughts on it. Some of the pros, I would say, number one, it's comfortable. It's what you want the chair to be. I think that's overall, you could have a chair that looks great, but, and it could have speakers and sound great, but it's got to be comfortable, and this nails that. So the chair is comfortable. I think that the fact that it's customizable is also a plus. The fact that you can adjust the headrest and the backrest is nice, and also just the features of it. You know, it's got pockets, it swivels. You know, it's just it's got all the stuff that you would pretty much want, other than a cup holder, which I don't think it really needs. Some of the cons would probably be the fact that it only comes in one color. You know, I mean, when I redid this room and I knew I was going to buy this chair, I had to think about, honestly, the color of that green and how would it look when I repainted this room. So that is something to think about. Maybe that bright green and the black just won't look right in your room. I don't know, but that's just something to think about. I think another negative would definitely be the fact that it doesn't have a handle at the bottom when you fold it up. I have brought this in another room. I have brought it over to Retro Mikey's, and carrying it is awkward. Even though you can fold it, it's normally, I've had chairs before that fold, and when you do, they Velcro then so they don't flap open, and they have a handle that helps you just carry them from room to room or for storage. So to me, that was a huge oversight, and it wouldn't have been a big deal to add that. Another negative would have to be the price. You know, 130 bucks is expensive for a chair. You can get an upright, taller, PC-type gaming chair that's decent for that price, I would think. So when talking about price, if I were to go to Wayfair.com right now and type in video game chair, there would be a lot of options, very, very similar to the Gamerider, possibly even cheaper. So that has to be something that you have to consider. A lot of them may look very similar. I saw some that were a little bit cheaper, and they didn't have that. One of them actually had a lower adjustable lumbar where your feet are, but they didn't have a completely padded armrest. They were metal and then just had like a little rubber at the very top for your arms. So that one, you know, but literally the chair looked the same. There's a lot of banana style chairs like my older one that they had, but just better fabric, probably more sturdy. So those are some things to take in. You know, this is not your only option. There's lots of them out there. I mean, even Walmart.com has a lot. I personally, the ones at Wayfair are very nice. This is more if you have a GameStop that's close by, and you know, you may have some trade-ins, or maybe they're clearancing these chairs out. So just keep that in mind. And I know you might be saying, well, I can go to Amazon right now and get an X-Rocker with a pedestal for 130 bucks. What would be, and that's got speakers and you know, it sits up higher. Well, I apologize if I'm going to offend anyone, but in my opinion, X-Rockers, they're complete shit. So here's what happens. You see this X-Rocker and it looks comfortable, and it's got speakers and maybe a built-in sub. And here's what ends up happening. I mean, the chair is hollowed out to accommodate the speakers and wires and things like that. Then you push it just barely too hard, the speakers blow, you end up losing the cables. Now you've got this chair that, number one, isn't comfortable, and number two, it doesn't even, the speakers don't function, so it's just an eyesore. So I would, you know, read reviews. X-Rockers, you know, every one that I've had has either been returned or it's been sold shortly after buying. So they're just not made for, I mean, maybe for a little kid, but for adults, no. And they're just not comfortable for long-term play. So just keep that in mind when you're going to spend that kind of money. In my opinion, X-Rockers are just not the way to go. I think, in full disclosure, so I did not pay the $130 for that chair. When the chair went on pre-order, it was $129.99. And I remember seeing it and thinking, wow, this thing looks really nice. So once it was finally released in late July, some reviews started trickling in on GameStop's website, and they were really good. People, they loved the chair. The few that, there was like 3 reviews at that point, and they were all positive. So I was like, okay, I'm getting this chair. And then I noticed that the price went down. I was putting it off because the closest GameStop to get one of these was over 40 miles. For some reason, they're just, in my state, they're just not putting them in every GameStop. They're in just select few. I don't know why. And when I asked my GameStop if they could order it and have it shipped to a store near me, they said that no, unfortunately they couldn't do that. So keep in mind, this is a in-store purchase only. If you go on the website, it'll show the chair, but you can't order it. You have to call, make sure that that your store has one, or just do a zip code search to see where the nearest store is. And again, unfortunately, my store was really far away. By the time that I was ready to get it, the price went from $130 to $100. And I don't know why, because shortly after I bought mine, the price went back up to the $130 price tag. And as a matter of fact, I have 2 price tags on that box. I have one that just says $129 and one that says $129.99 on the same sticker. So nobody gave me a straight answer why the price went down. I thought it went on clearance shortly after. I thought maybe the store was going out of business. They were clearancing this thing out. They knew it was too high to begin with, so they just dropped it. But the fact that it went back up tells me that maybe they had so much interest in the chair that they would just drop or raise it back up to the $30 or the $130 and get more money out of it. That's the only thing I can think of, because GameStop doesn't necessarily run sales. Yeah, they have a deal of the week and things like that. They do have an ad, but this wasn't an advertised sale. It never said sale on the website. It didn't say sale in store. So the price is a factor. If you can get it lower, this chair to me is a no-brainer. And if you can fit in it, if you're not a gargantuan person, I would say 6'1", 6'2", it's starting to maybe be a little big for you. But if you're a child, if you're, average height, average weight adult, I'm in my mid to late 40s. I fit in this chair fine. I have no problem getting out of it. So if I had to give this chair a number rating out of 10, I would give it an 8.5. I think it is really good, and there are some shortcomings, but they're not enough to make me not recommend this chair. So hopefully, this video gave you, some insight, got you to learn a little bit about the chair, whether or not it might be a fit for you. And I hope you liked the video. If so, hit that like, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell so you know when I upload new content. And my name's Pat, just reminding you to always game on.
Game on! Yeah, game on!
Is the speakers... So, back it up. Sit, Ubu. Sit. Good dog.